This video is about information processing theory in psychology. The study of information processing theory is similar to the study of how our brains handle informations. It is a psychological theory that explores how we acquire, retain, and apply knowledge. Consider our mind to be a computer, and this theory can help us understand how information flows within it. According to the theory, our minds work in stages just like a computer. The first step is encoding, which is where information enters the system. Then it is saved for a while until we need it, at which point we retrieve it. We can learn why some tasks are more difficult for our brains than others by looking at real-time examples. George Miller, a psychologist and computer scientist, was the originator of this theory. He famously stated in a paper that our short-term memory can only hold about 7 things at once. Other psychologists such as Ulrich Nisser expanded on this concept, claiming that information first passes through our senses before going through various stages of processing. Now discuss the 3 types of information processing theory. Serial processing theory. This means that we process information one step at a time in the order that we receive it. Each piece of information is stored in our short-term memory until the next one arrives, at which point it is either moved to a long-term memory or eliminated if we no longer require it. Parallel processing theory. According to this theory, we can process multiple pieces of information at the same time, rather than one after the other. It calls into question the idea that our short-term memory can only handle a certain amount of information because it claims we can store and process multiple items at the same time. Hierarchical processing theory. This concept indicates that different tasks require different level of brain power. More mental effort is required for more difficult tasks than for easier ones. Miller's work on the limits of short-term memory inspired this theory, which helps explain how we learn, solve problems, and make decisions. Let us talk about how to understand information processing in everyday life. Information processing theory explains how our brains process information in our daily lives. It functions as a toolbox for understanding how we acquire, store, and apply knowledge. We can gain a better understanding of how our minds work and why some tasks are more difficult than others by looking at different ways information is processed. When we drive, our brain processes information from all of our senses in order to respond to potential hazards quickly and safely. This involves working with the multiple pieces of information at the same time. Learning a new language involves storing new words in short-term memory before transferring them to long-term memory via rehearsal and repetition. This method uses both serial and parallel processing. Using hierarchical processing, problem solving often involves breaking down complex tasks into simple parts. For example, understanding every part before putting it all together is required when solving a difficult math problem. Let us discuss about the 4 stages of information processing theory. Encoding is the process of taking information from the environment and giving it meaning. Storage is the temporary retention of information in short-term memory or the transfer of information to long-term memory. Accessing previously stored information from memory for current tasks is known as retrieval. Transformations. Changing information into a more usual form, such as by recognizing it or using problem-solving skills. While information processing theory is useful, it is not without limitations. It fails to take emotions and creativity into account. Some argue that its 4 stages are overly simplistic and fail to capture the complexities of knowledge acquisition. Thanks for watching.